So I've never tried to do leather repair before, and I didn't see a video on Permatex. This one, so I figured I would make one. Here's my crack. Let's see if that's too big or not. I don't know. Probably 4 inches in total length from here to here. We'll see. Alrighty. First step is clean the area. And hopefully Lysol doesn't destroy anything. And make sure it's super dry. For a second. Okay, so the next step is to put some of the paper that they provide underneath the rip to help support it with the glue later. This is about 4.5 inches across, and my rip is maybe 5.5 inches across, so we will do as good of a job as we can and see how that goes. So I'll cut this up first. Alrighty, paper is cut. It's pretty. So now slide it underneath the ripped area. Ooh, no! Extra rippies. Wonder if I should rip that off. Not sure if it's stronger to leave that there or not. Guess we'll find out. Boy, I really underestimated this. Is it sewn? Gosh. It feels like it's sewn to the cushion. That'll make this real obnoxious. A lot of help that does me. Not sure exactly what to do about that. They said no frayed edges, and the paper they give is so frayable. Ever work on a project and know immediately it's not going to be the prettiest project you've ever done? That is how this feels. Better man would probably take this out and try cutting it again. Yeah. Alright, take 2. Alright, you get to watch me suffer again. So I've cut this edge so that it'll be a little bit easier. I hope. Anybody want to take bets on the comments section of if this works? All right. That's as good as the day I bought it, because I just got this car working. Oh, can I squeeze that under there? Is that possible? No, for sure it's gonna fail from there when it fails again. Oh, there's a good chance it won't be worse than it is now, right? There is a chance. Okay, let's pretend like that's perfect. What's next? Okay, so next step is select the grain paper, and enclosed there's 3. Select the grain pattern that matches closest. Draw an outline of the damage area on top so that you can easier use the heat tool later. So these are the 3 bits that they give you. This one is the closest, if you can see the pattern there, as opposed to really heavy and kind of crackly. So, this side up, I'm gonna draw as close as I can. Of course, all of this area is kind of weird. Ta-da! Art. And then fill in damage. Use the clear vinyl adhesive and filler and spatula. This guy, adhesive and filler, to fill in the damage area to surface level. Allow 4 hours to dry. The adhesive will shrink slightly when drying. Leave a void, which is then filled in with color repair compound. So fill it into surface area, leaving a void. A little bit confusing. Maybe it shrinks and then creates a void. Okay. So let's fill her in. For sure, I'm gonna get in there. All right, pause for the cause. Ooh, that smells good. Not really. Ooh, strong, strong, strong. The odor is strong with this one. Ooh, Lord, okay, for everybody watching, outdoor use only. Lord. Oh, watch me pull out my perfect job. And whoop. Mine does pop up a lot. I'm not sure if that means it's gonna dry and crack into somebody's butt, or if it's gonna dry flat. Not really sure. I want it to dry flat. Maybe I could put something on the seat just to keep it a little bit from popping up like that. this works, I will be impressed. And if I can do it, anybody could do it. Whew, that smell. It's quite possible I'm using way too much of this filler. It's also possible it needs to be under here more. Smooth out the top. Smooth, smooth, smooth. All right. Made a bit of a mess with that. So, for my next trick, I will leave and let this dry for 4 hours. Real fast, this is my method for holding the leather down in a way that won't lead to a dried, spiky leather seat. So, be back in 4. Okay, so welcome back, 4 hours later, and it's dry. So I was a little bit concerned about it popping up here, and it does a little bit, but most people's butts aren't so soft. What I see that I missed is a little bit here. There's just a little bit more crack that I wasn't able to fill in this area too, especially as it starts to come into the crease. But maybe later I can apply some compound to that. We'll see. But this area looks pretty good, and it seems like it'll be flexible enough, which is nice. And yeah, it sank a little bit or shrunk a little bit, which is I think what they wanted. So now what it says is, after using the adhesive and filler for 4 hours, now I need to match the color. And they give this handy dandy wheel, or square rectangle table. So I think I'm this one. Seems like a pretty good match, and it's kind of funny. It says start with black, and then you come over here to white, and it says add very small amount instead of just add small amount, or add. So I will add a very small amount of white to try to get this color out of their black. And after I get the color matched, apply it. They also add, so these are all of their colors, there's a powder hardener in here as well. But that's only if you want to do something hard like a dash or something like that, but not a soft seat. So you apply the paint with this, or the, excuse me, not the paint, the color compound using the spatula. They say feather it in, which is good advice. Keep it thin, and don't overfill the damaged area. And then I need to heat the cure the area. So they provide this guy, which is just an electric heater. And after I have the color, I'm going to place this down and heat all of the area that I can. Of course, it's a little bit bigger than that, but that will have to do. I can move it afterwards, but it says heat for 35 to 45 seconds, and then remove the heat, let this sit for 1 or 2 minutes until it cools off, and then it should not be tacky when it's done. I guess that means it'll be done, like, as soon as it gets heated up and the texture is applied. Kind of nice. So I'm gonna get the paint ready, the coloring compound, of course, and then we'll try this out. All right, guys, go time. I have color matched to the best of my ability, and now I will begin filling and feathering it in. Just had to go light on this. It's a pretty good color match. I'm happy with that. I'll beautify it here in a second too. excited about this. This is way better than a gaping hole. I think I'm gonna have to do a couple of passes because this is gonna sound funny, but my crack was a little bit bigger than the paper that they gave me. Oh, that's nice. Boy, if all else fails, I can color match for the rest of my life. While I'm doing this, I have the solder gun, the heating tool. I'm sure they prefer it has a fancier element name to it. Boy, this is just, the spatula is a spatula. It's not really a brush. And I think this area I'm gonna have to come back to. Alright, so it's a little bit streaky. I'm not sure. I gotta feather that. Feather that. I'm not sure how much of this the heat is gonna take care of. How much of it is the artist. A little bit more over here. You know, feather that. Okay. Alrighty, now the heat. This thing is smoking. It's kind of scary. So, I want you right here. So I'll do my best to hold that steady and apply heat in a circular fashion for the next 30 to 45 seconds. Being careful not to overheat this paper. This crease is kind of tough to get into, to be honest. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Pressing in a little harder than I was before. I'm also not sure on this 35 seconds if that's like in one area or the whole area. It's probably one area. Say not to overheat. Say if it's tacky when you're done, then you're not done. Boy, is it hot in here? Or is it just my heating element? Alright. So I think I'll call that good for the first one. Ugh. And it says leave it there till it has completely cooled for the next minute or so. So I'll pull this back out in a second. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes. This heating element doesn't have an off switch, and I have it plugged in still, so it's scaring me a little bit. But time for the reveal. I hope it's not too tacky. I'm not talking about my jokes. Ugh. Well, that's not impressive, Stu. Ugh. Okie dokie. I wonder if that's because I smeared it a little bit. Well, some of it got textured. That area. That's something. Alright, let's try this again. I think I smeared it. Got all of this on here, and I'm not sure if I cleaned that. I must clean it, I guess. Okay, it says fill more color compound and repeat. Not totally clear if I need to do something about that paper, but let's just see what happens if I do it all again. So I'll go real thin here, because it looks like it did a pretty good job of getting all this other stuff. And obviously I need to do that again. That wasn't heated very well by me. And this area didn't get heated at all. What am I gonna do? Down in my crack. I said less is more. Okie dokie. Stuff coming through. I'm going to time it this time just so I have a little bit more awareness. Oh, I'm so scared I'm going to burn myself. Safety. Safety, please. Okay, so no moving it. Ugh. Cool. I think I moved it. Take 3. I think a new strategy is going to be not hold the really hot thing while I'm trying to apply paper that probably needs 2 hands. So we'll feather this area again. Part of it looks good, so there's hope. All right, there's 2 hands on this guy. And we will now repeat. My tool is hot in my hand now. Trying to focus a little bit more per area. This is just the shortest cord I've ever seen. It's, I don't know if you can see it, but it's the cord for this hot element is literally like 3 inches long. My extension cord is swinging off the end of it, and it keeps getting caught on the end of the chair, which is cool. Makes it easy. Not. Ooh. Hang out up here for a bit. Okay, I'm going a little bit heavier on the heat this time, just because I have no idea what I'm doing. Full disclosure, not a professional, in case you were here watching for that reason. Okay, so a couple more minutes, we'll see what happens. Okay, this is round 2. I'm starting to understand this less is more principle. It didn't take off everything this time, so it's a little bit better, but I need to go in and work some of these areas more, like this area, obviously this area, which is really going to be hard for me to get, I think. Some of it doesn't look so bad, it just lifted off, like you can't see it from where you are, but as this creases down, it's created almost a flat plane. So I think what I'll do is use like the edge, maybe, to try to bring it down. You know, there's reason to believe this won't be the worst thing in the world. It still does look a lot better than just the yellow tear. So I think what I'll do is clean this off to the best of my ability, and then just keep heating the areas that I have left. So, yeah, I'll show you the end result. I think you get the gist of what I'll be doing. And it can't be worse than where I started. And hopefully, I mean, the biggest goal is that it doesn't keep cracking and tearing. It's already at the limit of what this kit can do, size-wise, so. All right, looks like this area I'll do next. Finish that, and then I'll tackle that. I'll show you the end result. Okay, quick status update. It's getting there. I think I need to do a little bit better job feathering in these areas. This one was deep, and it was really hard for me to get in there with the flat heating tool, so I guess word to the wise, don't have too many creases if you can avoid it. I'm going to try to tackle this area now. What I've done is put a slight crease in the paper so that I can drop it in there and hopefully dig in a little deeper with the edge of the tool. You really got to feel a little bit like a mobster though and convince it that it wants to get hot and set. So I'm going to try to do that. I did that over here and it worked a little bit. So I think I need to be a little bit, just a little bit more mobster. Of course, you try not to burn yourself. So far, so good on that one. Yeah. How you like them apples? Trying to keep it cool down there. We are not. Come on. Not sure this qualifies as the circular motion they described, but whatevs. Ooh, and I'm starting to cut into it a little bit. Definitely don't want that. Get some of this other area. All right, we let it sit again. Another couple of minutes. I've already probably cycled this, I don't know, 3 or 4 times when I was focused on this area, so this is, at least for a beginner, an iterative process. But I like it. It's getting there. I still haven't gotten to this edge, I guess. I thought I did, but I can do that a little better. And I might also focus again on feathering out some of this area a little bit more, but like this area, oh, beautiful. Really nicely done there. That was just feathering, really. So Still have this area to do, and again, it's got this like sort of shoot off cliff, so I need to round that off if I can, and then I'll finish this up. So maybe another 15 or 20 minutes. There's worse things. I lifted it off, and it's still tacky. It was not gangster enough. So I'm gonna try to remove as much of the compound as possible. They did say, oh, yuck. They did say less is more. Of course, none is not enough. So I will try to hold back my tears. All of that beautiful work is gone. I'll try to get this area too, just a little bit dabbed up. All right, let's try again with less compound, but it's already better. Who's to say this is the worst job of this ever? I don't think it's the worst. Maybe it's the second worst. All right, heating up the gun and applying the paint. If it hasn't dried entirely, it's still a little bit there. Super thin, super thin, super thin. Don't get excited. Itsy bitsy. Itsy bitsy. Itsy bitsy. It's gonna be really hard to get in there. Okay, it's probably. I'm getting excited, putting too much on. Okay, let's try that. No paper. Paper's kind of cool. It's not working so great, but it's not working. Combination of it being okay and me being not okay. All right. Ugh. So I guess this stuff really does need to set though with the heater in order for it to work. All right, take 18 or something. I almost need like a smaller heat gun. It's just so fat. Oh no, my paper's moving. Please don't move, paper. I need you to be oh so still. So the only reason you want to really get that dry is that it sets, otherwise it'll be tacky on somebody's pants forever. Can't have that. Wife would not be happy. All right, now we wait. All right, this is it. This is what I'm calling done. I think I can overlay what it used to look like. What you'll notice, my headlamp on, which is making it a little bit weird, but what you'll notice is that this area I did really, really nicely. It was, it had enough material here that, oh my gosh. Okay, this area I did really nicely. It had enough material that I was able to constantly have the leather textured surface, this thing, in contact with the paint or whatever that is. This area was a little bit harder because there's like kind of a drop off. This area is a little bit lower, and so it was really hard to get in here. So I have a little bit of a crack. It'll probably be okay. This area had a crease, obviously, and every time I went in here, I really struggled to get the heat where it needed to go because this tool is so flat. I should probably unplug it since it's just heat. This thing is so wide and flat that it really struggled to get in here without destroying the paper. And so anyway, as a result, the color got rubbed away, but I think it's fine. It's got the epoxy on the cloth underneath. As far as I'm concerned, it's just not colored well. So maybe this is also protecting or has some kind of other benefits outside of the color. I'm not really sure because they don't call it paint. They call it, what do they call it? I don't know, curing something? I'm looking for it. Curing compound. Anyway, I'm happy-ish. It took more skill than I guess I should have expected that it was going to take skill and that I probably wouldn't have it right off the bat. What I learned was you want to have it as flat as possible in order to work easily. So this area was very tough for me. You want to apply a fair bit of pressure and really localize the heat for 35 seconds. It says 35 to 45 seconds. Really hit that one spot for 35 to 45 seconds. I was, I think, not as convincing with the heat as I should have been. So it took a little bit longer. Had a whole bunch of tacky areas, but this is not bad, you know, considering it was a gash and now it's less obviously a gash. 20 bucks, not bad.